Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta. I had a cooler sitting here the entire time and forgot to get a beer.
No vodka?
I think I still have a cooler full of your Miller Lights.
Ah, there we go. Good times.
You got a cooler full of something. I left it there again this past
Well,
weekend.
you left you left a second hat in my home now.
Yeah, I'm just adding.
Weren't there other
my
things
collection.
left from that one party?
Probably.
I mean, I still have stuff from that party at my house, and that party was at your house.
that was a rough go for everyone,
That's
including
confusing.
Lizzie. Lizzie's like, "Shut up, everyone."
Lizzie was like, "Everyone get the hell out now."
Yeah. She's like, "I'm trying to sleep." She was the most adult of any of us.
I know. We were terrible.
Well,
Are
we
you
were out of
saying
there
that-
by like 11, though. I mean, everyone left and went and did their own thing, and it was good.
Solid.
Are you saying that when we drink, we are less mature than a 7-year-old?
8, but yes, her birthday was
She
last
wasn't
week.
8. She wasn't 8 then. Well, it doesn't matter which party you're talking about, but yeah.
She was indeed 7 at the time. That's right.
All right, there we go. Well, awesome week, guys. I guess, right? Not a lot happened. Not a lot of Georgia State stuff happened. Baseball had a good
spring
weekend.
game is still upcoming. We can talk about that a little bit, I guess. But
Spring game
I don't
is
know
upcoming.
what else to say about it. Is there any spring game news that's been coming out?
I have not seen any spring game news. However, I did see an SEC Twitter account post asking their viewers what they would like to see to make spring game better, more intriguing, whatever. And there was just one common thread throughout all the responses. I don't know. You're shaking your head, Ryan. I don't know if you saw it. Effectively,
Scrimmage.
Scrimmage. It was a scrimmage. They said either a G5 or an FCS in-state team. And what do you guys think? What do you think if Georgia?
Great.
Georgia won.
Do it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean,
all right, cool.
Honestly, we make fun of the NFL for doing it, but I think it serves a really good purpose because you get real live game experience. Like people still want to win those things. Like I know you don't care as much when you lose, but you still want to win and you want to see like a good thing. But you also get to get game time experience and see how people will play in the game that you might not be willing to play during the regular season. Because like you might lose, but you always see these guys come in the middle of the season, and I'm not saying it happens all the time, but like a QB goes down and the backup quarterback all of a sudden just goes and like plays lights out, and it's like, oh, well, they weren't practicing that way. Well, that's because they're good at the game. They're not necessarily good at practice. So it's fun to see that and to understand your team a little bit better. I'm all for it. I've always been all for it. Let's do it.
What if it was like two-hand touch flag football?
That's stupid. Don't do that.
Yeah, is that really a practice then?
That's dumb.
I can see them not wanting to actually have a real live scrimmage.
I mean, we can implement some like the most dangerous plays or whatever. Let's dumb them down a little bit or something. But like, no, let's tackle.
I mean, I'm all for it. Just don't know what the teams would be.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Tim, on the fact of concerned about the injuries. We always talk about whenever we have these P5 matchups in the regular season, you always want that bye week to be the week after so that you can recover from any potential injuries. And maybe that's just old speak and stuff like that, but that'd be my
I think
concern.
people worry a lot about that. I don't know how if I went and crunched the numbers, I don't know how much it would matter.
But my other question is, does that lessen the chance of getting that matchup in the regular season? I mean, Georgia already plays. We've already looked at that. They play the most craptastic FCS and G5 teams already. You know, would this be our only chance to get to play Georgia, or would this ruin our possible chances of playing them in the regular season?
I would expect us to play Tech. I would expect us to play Tech because it's cheap. We would scrimmage against Tech, really.
Get on some buses.
And we've already got them on the schedule, so it doesn't matter if it never happens again. Or
win the conference and what it does, though, the good thing that it does is it builds up the relationship between the programs because you still got to coordinate all that stuff, and it gets you talking. And so potentially it could be good for that because maybe you schedule something just knowing that, hey, we got this relationship with the school down the street, and that helps.
The blue gold game.
We win 2 games, two actual games, and then they never play us again, or we'll never play them. We'll be like, we're 2-0. Peace out.
Well, and you always hear about these the 7-on-7s with Tech that we always win apparently, but nobody ever watches it. So this could be it could be cool.
Would it make more sense to have this as a spring game or something that happens like 3 or 4 weeks before the regular season starts? Because so for the preseason for the NFL, it doesn't happen all the time, but I remember times where the Patriots came down to Flowery Branch and they played with the Falcons the week leading up to the preseason game, or there was even another team that came down when we didn't have a preseason game and the team scrimmage and practice together for the week, and then did that. So would it make sense to make this a spring game or create some kind of new August fall preseason matchup?
I mean, it sounds like you're trying to make college football be the NFL.
No.
They don't need
if we
my
wanted
help.
to do that, we'd pay the players, Tim.
We're super close to that.
I know that was the joke. That was the joke.
we don't pay all of them yet, though. That's the problem. Some of them get 0.
Well, this would actually be more like Major League Baseball than NFL, because granted, technically we're all FBS programs, we're on the same level, but we all know that it's not the same level when it comes to budgets and everything. We don't
right.
They operate at a different level, whereas the major league teams. Well, I remember like Tech would play Georgia Tech, and the Braves would play Georgia Tech to start the season out, not to start the season, but preseason, like a game in Jacksonville or some crap like that, and play other like non-teams, Savannah Bananas. Yeah.
We should play them, Georgia State baseball.
Oh,
they would probably
kill us.
I was going to say they'd kill us, but I don't know.
No, we wouldn't get halfway through the game with all the antics they have, right? I mean,
I want to go to one of those games.
They look fun.
I mean, so spring practice is like what, 3 weeks or something? 2 or 3 weeks.
It's a number. I think it could be over the course of a certain amount of time, but there's so many days you can actually practice within a week. Like you can only have 3 or 4 days, 2 or 3 days. We should know this stuff.
We should.
I think it would be rad to do however many weeks your spring practices. That's how many games you got, and at the end of every week of practice, you have another scrimmage. Would be cool.
Like in school, where you'd study all week and have your pop quiz or your spelling bee or spelling test at the end of every week.
Yeah, and you're not necessarily like game planning for that particular scrimmage, but you're still like installing your offense and defense like you do in spring, and then you're running what you just installed against an actual team, also doing the same thing. I don't know, it just seems cool.
And also, what they do in the preseason games a lot in NFL is they'll share like, hey, on this particular drive, we're going to want to try this type thing, So they kind of make each other aware of stuff, so it wouldn't be completely.
Oh yeah, like feed them the play and be like, "You're going to defend against this right now, and let's see if we can do something. If you can stop us, or if we can run the play."
So you do this.
Yeah, you get some fun, low risk stuff going on.
All right, so we do this, and it's either with Tech or it's with or Georgia. Those would be the two teams that would have to be between. Is it in Athens? Does that mean our spring game is in Athens? Or do we...
and don't take Mercer and Kennesaw out of the.
Well, that's what my next question was going to be. So, do we have a spring game at Georgia, and then we have a spring game hosting Mercer or West Georgia?
Well, I think no matter what, you cap it off with something at home. Whatever team that is, but you make sure that your final scrimmage is at home, no matter what.
But I mean, but both teams can't have final scrimmage at home.
Well, we don't schedule them on the same weeks. It's okay.
But so you would have multiple, so what you were saying, multiple scrimmages within that 4-week period.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the most perfect situation ever, but that's probably not how it would be implemented. But that would be the nicest thing.
I mean, yeah, yep.
Well, and if you want to do a scrimmage with blue versus white, there's nothing stopping that either. So you can do all of it. Why not do all the things, David?
How realistic is this? Like, does this have any kind of potential? Because it sounds cool.
Now here's the coolest part. Here's the coolest part. We tailgate all of these things.
Well, obviously,
100% tailgate.
So really, the point is just tailgating.
Well, we got to practice our tailgate game. We got to try out some new things. Me and Denver were talking about this, doing a crawfish boil. Be real cool,
for the Lafayette game.
Well, I don't really care. I know y'all like to theme these things, but I'm just saying a crawfish boil sounds good. I don't care who we play when we do it. But yes, I
was-
mean, ideally that would fit nice. But if there's no home game against a Louisiana team, then screw it. We'll have crawfish boil against I don't know, Tech, whatever. Vandy.
Tim, what did you say before Ryan brought up tailgates? Because my brain got lost all information after that point. Because I was like, ooh, tailgates.
Just how realistic is this? Is this like
that's the question.
message board fodder, or does this have some actual legs to it?
No, I don't think there's any legs to it at all. This was literally an SEC Twitter account asking, what would you like to see? And the general consensus from all the responses. I mean, the other half of that was get rid of them altogether because they're boring and pointless and no one needs them.
Wait, what are we getting rid of?
Spring games.
That was the other half of the argument.
Game.
There was, it was very, very polarized. There were not a lot of other, suggestions out there for this. It was either scrimmage or do away with it.
Real.
Well, so here's the thing: people that don't want a spring game, don't go. Just don't go.
Well,
it's not that hard.
There was one other suggestion that no one really caught on to, but was to actually do kind of a bigger version of a scrimmage, but like teams that would not play each other. I think they had like Alabama and Syracuse, or it was Boise State and Alabama and Syracuse, Miami. I don't know. It was actually they played in season. Yeah, that was my thing. Is it the travel at that point becomes you got to turn the scrimmage into a moneymaker to justify all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So. Yeah.
And it doesn't make, I doubt it makes money for the NFL. I mean, I know people go and all that stuff, but like those stadiums are, it's got to be less than half full,
right?
They get TV money, preseason, all of football is all TV money, and I still have to pay for that ticket whether I want to go or not.
Preseason NFL games are pretty boring.
Yeah, but people like diehards still do it, and no matter how much you don't like them, they add value to the team.
I mean, even if you offer me free tickets, it might be it's not really convenient. I can't go.
Oh, I'll go.
I cannot give away my preseason tickets to the Falcons.
You can. Yeah, here. Hello.
No, we literally we literally do. We find some kind of charity doing a raffle, and we'll give the one or two away and let them raffle them off whatever they can get for them. And there's been times before where actually, you know what? I think most times it doesn't even make face value. It doesn't even make face value.
No, definitely not.
Just give me your preseason tickets, David. I'll take them.
Well, no, we use it as a tax write-off.
Oh, well, you say you can't give them, so you can give them away. You just choose not to. Okay, cool. That's cool. That's a different thing.
You got it, buddy.
Become a charity.
That's a different thing. I'll take them.
Start a Ryan Graham charity for Falcons preseason tickets, and
if you got them, I'll take them.
No, I'll go.
I live close enough where the free booze is worth walking over.
Okay, well, I have tickets that are not. I have tickets that are not free tickets. Do you want those for preseason?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
not. There you go.
Absolutely not.
You got to be giving away the good tickets for the preseason.
Look, it depends on what I'm doing that weekend.
It's not going to be a weekend. It's going to be like a Thursday because it's always. It's never on a weekend.
It depends on what I'm doing that Thursday, but
All right.
Tuesday nights, I can push you guys off. I can be like, you know what? I don't feel like podcasting. I'm going to go to the preseason scrimmage.
Sure. Go for it, man. Time approved.
I already am moving for a Braves game, right? So
yeah, well, we got a couple of moves going on between both of you guys coming up, which is all good. All good, especially in the off season. We don't have stuff looking forward to like the following weekend. Anyhow.
I figured it wasn't
staying on the football track, they did announce, I think it was today, maybe it was yesterday, probably today, the media days for the Sun Belt Conference back in craptastic New Orleans on July 23rd and 24th. And it's because that's where the offices are.
So they get another shot at not screwing up Georgia State, Georgia Southern. Is that what this is?
Oh God, I don't know. Yeah, they've never gotten it like 100% right. There's always been a backdrop incorrect or a logo incorrect or something messed up between those. Yeah.
But I will say it's usually them, not us. We're not screwed up. They're screwed up. Like,
it's the other way around. They'll have us behind whatever that guy's name is that works for them, or that they had the wrong logo up.
They should have the announcers be in a different location for the media days, just like the basketball tournament. Like, don't have them in the same room. Put them in another state.
Let's go to the COVID days. They can't have anybody in the same city to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a big party for the media people and the coaches and players that go down there? Do you think it's like you're in New Orleans.
I think they probably loathe going to it.
You think they loathe going? What about the press people?
I don't think they like it either.
Oh, that kind of. Well, the reason why I ask is because there's a woman that works for a radio station in Jonesboro that I follow because she covers Arkansas State.
Does she
sports.
like it? She party?
She made some kind of comment like, the annual football party. Media days has been scheduled for 23rd, 24th of July. So
maybe she makes it a party and she just goes out every day and night.
Well, we can talk to her about it. I've already talked to her about coming on to talk about Arkansas State football.
What I was going to say is, let's figure out what her plans are and let's do that because it sounds
all right,
fun.
That leads into my next question.
Wait, we'd have to go to New Orleans.
Do you think what would State of Atlanta at media days in New Orleans look like?
Well, it wouldn't look like anything because our communications director or whatever her title is, she doesn't consider us media, so we're not invited.
Assuming, we would go through the Sun Belt Conference. We'd go through the Sun Belt Conference.
Yeah. No, wait, they would be there just as you try to put your hand up. They just put their arm on your hand, like, no, Ryan.
Media only. I'd be like, I traveled all the way here. I'm media.
Okay, and he turned into like a 1980s wrestler.
Whatever it takes. Okay.
No, what would it like? So, assuming we got our credentials to go to the Sun Belt Media Days, it'd have to go through the Sun Belt. I'm sure they'd probably ask Georgia State if there was a yay or a nay. But
they hand out like candy. I heard. Media credentials.
I would assume they want as many people. This is their media days. They want as many outlets talking about this as possible.
I would think the same thing about a coaching hire at Georgia State University. So
you would think
we would have to come up with our best coach speak answered questions.
No, we have fun with it.
No.
Well, I think we make a poll out there and we get anybody online they can vote for the questions they want us to ask.
That would be fun.
Bodie McBoatface.
Exactly. which is exactly what I'm going for.
No, it's not a trap. It'd be hilarious. Like one of us has to ask that question.
Yeah, I think we should just ask everyone in the room. Like you don't ask who you're asking the question to. Just ask everyone in the room. Why are we here in New Orleans?
What do you think? You wish you were anywhere else now?
Anywhere else? Don't you all wish this was in Atlanta? Like really?
Oh, I did remember. This is a Sun Belt. Keith Gill may see our name on there and immediately.
Oh no, you're gone. Yeah,
shut it down.
just put it under my name. He doesn't know who I am. I wasn't there.
You think all three of us could go? Because I normally see like one person.
They might let us all go. Why not?
You guys want to make a trip to New Orleans in July 23rd, 24th?
Not for that.
Yeah, I do.
I will have just gotten back from a 3-week trip in my wife's hometown, so I could.
So it's the perfect time to go on another trip,
right? I mean, like literally, I think her high school reunion's on the 20th, so I think we're coming home on the 21st or 22nd. This would be turning around immediately and leaving. All right, let's keep this in the back of our heads, guys. I have zero interest in going to New Orleans ever again. But if we could go make a mock, okay, I don't want to say a mockery. I'm not make a mockery of the media day, but make a mockery of ourselves at media day. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I think we could have fun in New Orleans. Like the three of us could have a really good time in New Orleans, despite New Orleans being what it is, where it is.
Hey man, I say all the time,
make a good time of it.
No, it'd be fun.
Outside of getting peed on and eating mediocre food, I've had a good time when I've gone to New Orleans.
Well, I mean, don't find there is good food there. It's just, there's just better food other places. There's better versions of their food other places like Atlanta.
Hey, maybe we get Jerry to come out and show us a good time from Raging Review.
That's true.
Maybe.
I mean, I already said for a tailgate, I want to do a crawfish boil. So, I'm not interested in any of the playing out there or going there, but I can just bring the good food here.
We could ask the question: it's general consensus that the conference is overdue to move out of New Orleans. Where should it be? Just throw that in there. What? I can't say no. Nope. Where should the conference be?
Can you take me to the brain trust that makes schedules for this conference? Because I want to hit them in the head with a tack hammer.
Oh my God. Nobody in their right mind should introduce you to the person who does the schedules.
And we know it's the person that does the schedules because there's any kind of consensus on this. And
No,
some
it's
guy,
totally an intern for Tulane or something. That's just
like-
like
it's Chat GPT 1.0. Like,
no.
teams against-
ChatGPT
yeah.
would do a better job.
Well, I said 1.0.
Okay.
Where's like he doesn't have us playing ourselves in a schedule at this
Yeah.
point.
Did you
So-
like the subtle acknowledgement that they are bad schedules on my side there?
You know what? I did overlook it. I appreciate that, Ryan. At least you do acknowledge these are garbage schedules.
Yeah. I just don't really care.
You don't care to talk about them.
I don't care if they're bad. Just win, baby.
You do realize that we record 52 episodes a week, and only like 30 of those have football or basketball to talk about.
That's a lot, man. I only get invited to one of the 52.
What are you
He
talking?
said we record 52 per week.
Oh,
We
52
do?
weeks. 52 weeks in a year.
Man, we're busy.
You guys work your asses off.
I don't know how often or how long you've been drinking today, but I started a while ago.
It's been a minute.
I think that's all I got on football. Yeah, that's all I got on football.
I mean, there's
Shamarius
not a lot.
Gilmore.
When's our
Shamarius
spring
Gilmore
game?
played in
Wait,
the UFL.
when's our
April
spring
12th,
game?
not
April
this
12th,
coming
yeah.
Friday, but another Friday from now, which means that we have another week to talk about it coming up, and then another week to talk about it having happened. Yeah.
To talk about the 2 minutes that we actually watched of the spring game, because I think it's about the average amount of time we watched last time.
What was it? It was the spring game coming out of COVID, like after the COVID year.
It was packed.
It was
Everyone
packed
was
to the
there.
gills, and I don't think we watched a play. And there was a kid that got a scholarship there. I had no idea about it. Like we had the best time just standing through the concourse, just drinking and reconnecting to everybody. That was the best spring game. And, for all its faults, I like the spring game that was at the old practice facility, which a lot of people said that was kind of like, rinky dink to do it there. But they had Coach Bill Curry mic'd up, literally describing what the plays were and what the players were going to do. And this is what you're going to see. And then they would execute it. That was actually really cool, too. I like that one a lot, even though it got a lot of
Didn't we
heat
do
from
one at
fans.
like Grady one year or some crazy shit?
I missed that one. I missed that one at
I remember
Grady.
being there. I was like,
Do what?
Why are we here?
No, I didn't. No, I was there. That's where I got my my Will Lutz practice shorts.
Ooh, what were you doing?
They literally had a bucket of like old laundry from players' uniforms, and I just knew. I think he was number.
Did you like dive through it to find the number?
No, I just went through. I want to say I knew what his number was, but I can't remember what it is now. So
That was weird being there. I thought
it's a nice high school stadium in the middle of downtown or midtown Atlanta.
it is pretty nice. I'll give him that. Yep.
All right.
What else we got going on?
Baseball. We beat up on little Jimmy Madison this past weekend. That was fun.
Screw those guys.
Now, to be fair though, they did kick our asses in the first game. Was it 14-6? They beat us, and then like their social, because Jimmy Madison fans have absolutely nothing better to do and wherever the hell they are in Virginia, but so other than jump onto to Twitter and Harrisonburg. That's what it is. And they're talking about how they need to be out of this conference because they're sick of beating teams like this so badly over and over again. And then we come out and we beat them the last two games to take the series. So once again, big screw you to the Jimmy Madison fans out there.
They do get quiet slightly after something like that, though. They weren't as boisterous and annoying as normal. So
yeah, we beat them up a little bit. Not as bad as they beat us on in that second game, 7-2, and then eked out an 8-7 win. I was really nervous on that 8-7. That Saturday. It was a Saturday game, right?
Yeah, that one was back and forth.
And like baseball, I know for us, it is very we either dominate the shit out of the game or we lose by a lot. So we have a little bit of grounding mixed in, but we do still have those dominate the shit out of the game mixed in, and we are sort of oh, hey, we're pretty good here. But I don't know. We're just a lot more grounded about it. We're just like, okay, that was a great game, and like move on. And we
It's a
still don't
pitching game.
necessarily know. Like every other game, we're not like we're gonna kill them.
I think it's a pitching game for us. Sure, we have games like today where the bats couldn't figure it out, but again, you were playing the number 24 team in the nation, whatever. But
is that Jamie Madison's number 24?
No, that was Georgia who we played today.
Georgia.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm saying, like, I think we hit pretty well, especially at home. It's a hitter's park, from what I understand. But when the pitching's on, the bats typically come to play, and we do pretty well.
Yeah.
So I like that about them.
We don't have a problem hitting the ball. Doesn't seem like overall ever.
I was, when I first saw it, when we got that series win, I was like, man, it's so good to beat them at something. I went back and looked at it today. In this past 2 years since they've joined the Sun Belt, we're 3-3 against each other. Like, we're completely even, which is not bad. Historically, if you go back through the history of us playing them, they have the record, but there was like a 7-game streak where we did not win a game. And if you take that out, which I know you can't do that, but if you take that out, we're still even across the entire time of playing each other. So we're not, we're on par with Jimmy Madison. Like, they're not super great baseball team.
No, they're definitely not.
If they are super great, so is Georgia State.
I like that better.
And also, speaking of, Ryan, they'll love this, man. Speaking of Georgia being ranked number 24 in the nation, Georgia State clocked in at number 25 in the mid-major poll.
Sort of like number 75 in the nation.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe more than that.
Yeah, super proud.
We're like in the 60s in RPI.
No wonder we lost.
53 RPI.
We're number 15 as long as you take the first 50 teams out.
Exactly. Hey, but we're not in that mid-major receiving votes category. That's great.
I just think let's delete mid-major bullshit.
I think that my buy-in to mid-major for basketball for those years was just because it was just a common thing. And then as I've gotten more into the football side of things, the G5 and that separation between the P5 and everything, Ryan, I think I got to say I've jumped on board your ship that let's not acknowledge stuff that doesn't really pertain to anything. It's like, all right,
best of the middle.
We have 300 teams. Who are teams 100 through 125?
You're the top 10 once we get to number 100.
Either just rank all teams, all 300 of them, or just rank your top 25.
Or just stop.
And I just don't
like
care
football,
if I'm better
like
than. Like I don't know. I just.
Is there a mid-major?
It's really like settling into your place, instead of just saying like, oh, but like I know I'm a quote unquote mid-major, but like I can still beat the majors. It's really just being like, oh, well, I don't even compete with the majors. I'm a mid-major. Like, no, you compete with them. Go compete with them.
When you have Gonzaga as first place in the mid-majors, and they're actually like first place in the everything as well.
They are. Yeah, exactly.
They're an anomaly though.
It's a tradition thing. They're because if
we need to be Gonzaga.
If you just looked at like today, this season, you wouldn't call Gonzaga a mid-major, but it's like traditionally they are.
Right. By definition, they're a mid-major, but they're not.
I guess. But how do you define it?
If we'd somehow held on
to the middle.
If we had somehow held on to beat Gonzaga in that NCAA game, that last Rob Lanier game, is that the biggest win in Georgia State history across all sports?
I love Baylor still.
I would think so.
Upsetting the number one team overall.
Baylor
was beating us, but
in the tournament. You're saying in the tournament?
Yeah. When we played them, that St. Patrick's Day game was I guess 3 years ago now.
Oh yeah.
That would have been the biggest win.
Well, would we have been the first team to do it?
I thought it happened a year or two before.
Whenever Virginia did it, Virginia may have lost it the year before.
Yeah,
because I know it's like very recent history. The number one seed
was Virginia the number one seed overall? because that's what Gonzaga was. They were the number
They were
one,
the
number
top
one
seed.
seed.
Period. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that was a thing.
Stupid Sosame
You
getting
didn't know that.
injured, right? And that guy got injured, Sosame.
So, Sosame, yeah, him getting injured, yeah, that so early on. I really think that who knows if we would have won, but
we could.
It really feels like
any
really-
number one seed would have been the biggest upset would have been the biggest win in our history. I mean, that'd have been huge.
that or Albert Wilson. Either that or Albert Wilson running back that touchdown against Alabama.
No. Number one upset in March Madness. I don't even like basketball that much, and that would have been
impressive.
That would have been huge. I mean,
that party at Burton Hickory, wherever we're at, that would have been like explode. I had my kids there. I couldn't even like get like drunk and win.
I was gonna say that I would have gotten so drunk, but I think I did.
You did. Gimlets, man.
Anyway, yeah, you were. Well, you know when that green food coloring they put in the beer there, that adds a couple extra percent to the alcohol.
They had those orchid drinks.
Yeah, the orchid drink with the gin, right? It was so good.
It was
we had way too many of them.
You know, for as much crap as we give to Georgia State program, we've had a lot of fun over the years, haven't we?
Yeah.
We got to make it fun somehow, David. Come on now.
Exactly. We're clinging to orchid drinks and shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
I do remember you being frustrated though about not drinking.
I had a couple of years.
You were downstairs at the bocce ball courts.
The bocce ball court.
I can't drink at the half.
Yeah, I stopped drinking at halftime.
Yeah.
So. Oh well. All right.
That could have propelled us into beat Gonzaga of the East right there. We lost our chance. That could have been
Gonzaga of the East.
The moment with Lanier not. He still would have left.
He probably would have gotten a better job than SMU at that point, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Maybe we got well. Yeah.
Riding Hunter's coattails, like he's primed.
All right. So back to baseball. Jimmy Madison sucks. They lost to us. We lost to Georgia today. Big test this weekend. Big test. We're finding out whether or not we get dysentery while in Statesboro. But the game will be an easy win.
Pretty sure at least a couple of the team members will make it back alive.
Clean at least. There should be like two buses.
We're not required to douse ourselves in the creek. All right.
I know, but just by proximity, I think we should send two buses down there and like one empty, and then on the way back, it's like anybody that broke curfew or strayed away from just following in line has to ride another bus as quarantined to make sure they don't infect anybody else with the stank.
I was gonna say
garbage.
I worry more about the STDs that are airborne.
Airborne STDs. Exactly.
Wait, so the team's gonna be wearing face masks?
well, the CDC has already said they don't really work. So, but you know what? Better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. I hope they're wearing masks.
Face masks on the opposing team. Face mask on their jocks. Is that what you need, right?
Jocks
for those airborne STDs.
I did not commit to that swig, and so
it's the droplets, right?
You almost did.
Yeah. So 3-game series, trash down south this weekend. They're tied for 4th in conference right now. They're actually one point ahead of us in the RPI. So it's a good matchup. Yeah. I mean, they're not good overall.
I would love to sweep them just to shut them up.
Shutting them up is such a hard thing to do.
Yeah, but your football stadium. But you're
No, when they lose in sports that aren't football, they're like, but football. And then when they lose at football, they're like, but what about the other sports? Because they're dumb and like don't know how to lose.
But what about the crime? Because that always comes out too.
Oh, right. Oh, and they always use like the coded language and stuff too.
Homeless.
All the thugs in Atlanta, you know.
Yeah, it's the ATL, buddy. Dirty South. We talking about, of course. What do you expect? Where the players come to play.
That's right. I mean, hey, we're a mecca.
We are a mecca. Yep. Well, it's a dumb argument because our campus is in downtown and it's a non-traditional campus downtown. Every downtown major city's got crime problems. It just happens. That's what happens in downtown.
Yeah.
They try to cite. try to cite Georgia Tech as being different. I'm like, yeah, they just pay to suppress all that kind of crap, and they have a more of a traditional campus too. So
and yeah, their admission standards probably get a few of those people out, but like to compare Georgia Southern and
no,
Georgia
but wait,
State's
Ryan,
admission standards.
it's not our students that are causing the crime.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
That's true.
As far as we
and,
know.
and most of the time it's not even. I mean, sure, the students are the victim of the crime quite a bit just by pure density of how many students are downtown. But it's
Apparently
not always even
the racetrack is shut down. Just
the racetrack. shut
my
down.
little brother told me that this over the holiday.
Yeah, it was kind of like just the straw, the final straw came in and they just shut the whole thing down.
Yeah. Well, and I remember the last big thing about a shooting on campus was somebody on the highway was firing their gun or something, and it like guys, that's I understand that's sort of vaguely campus, but what is campus supposed to do about that? There's nothing anyone on campus can do about that.
Hey, let's be fair. If you had a gun in your car and you're in Atlanta traffic, you'd probably shoot somebody too.
Do you know how many guns there are in Atlanta traffic and people don't get shot all the time? It's great.
at least right now, that's where we're at.
But I will tell you that I am less rude to people with the thought that somebody might shoot me.
They might.
Why are you so nice? Why are you so mean to me then?
Well, you're a dick, and you're going to shoot me.
I don't have a gun. I mean, I do. My house is protected by a bunch of Century guns. Don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't say a word about my gun ownership in public.
I've got dogs with lasers on their heads.
I don't need people to know. Yeah. Do you have in your pool? Do you have sharks?
Yes, definitely has sharks
with lasers.
They're frogs with lasers.
Frogs. Oh man, because you can have a lot more.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're smart. We're smarter.
It's like a rave outside my house at night. I'm just lasers going every different direction.
Every now and again, one of the kids wanders out there. You're like, get back inside.
Why do you think my daughter's hair is so short? It just cut right through it.
Oh boy.
All right. Trash Down South this weekend, and then we'll see what happens after that. Beach volleyball did not play this week, and surprise, they did not move in the rankings. Still number 15 for the sixth week in a row or something like that. So, but they are hosting one of the two events they host at Georgia State. The Dig and Duels is this weekend against let's see what we got. Florida Gulf Coast, number 17. I can't talk. Number 17 Stetson.
We're gonna beat them.
Number 8 LSU.
We're not going to beat them.
And Southern Miss, unranked Southern Miss. I think Southern Miss was receiving votes. I think
so. We should have 3 wins, is what you're saying?
I think this entire tournament comes down to how we play against LSU. We got to beat a team that's ranked higher than us, right?
That'd be
but according to our logic, we won't.
According to your logic, we won't.
No, that's I haven't said that one time. Y'all are the ones who have said it over and over.
According to the people that rate us, we won't win, right?
I want to go down. It's my anniversary. I can't go down there.
To where?
You could. Whoa.
Sorry, Kim.
That could be part of the anniversary trip.
No, because I've actually got a
friend of mine who's way down.
I have a friend of mine who is a Florida Gulf Coast alum and a huge volleyball player. So I was like, just FYI, your team's playing here at Georgia State. I would be there except for it's my anniversary. And she's like, yeah, don't take your wife to Georgia State beach volleyball on your anniversary. I'm like, yeah.
I would do it.
You could have a picnic.
It'd be nice.
Exactly, David. You could have a picnic.
I could. Alone, awaiting the divorce papers to be sent to me.
Okay, fine. Do the right thing and do a romantic, fun anniversary.
But Tim should go out.
Be a better friend and tell him to do the wrong thing.
There's nothing more romantic than GSU beach volleyball.
See, Tim knows. Tim knows what's what.
If you've never been to a beach volleyball game at Georgia State, I would highly, and you're a Georgia State fan, I would highly recommend it. It's a great setup.
Into one.
Yes.
The only
It was
The
so
only-
good he went back.
The only thing
Yeah,
it's
it's hard
missing is like a tiki bar.
Tiki bar, exactly.
That's all it
Well,
needs.
you just bring your own tiki bar.
I know you could.
Exactly. You park it at the G deck. There's no tickets. There's no entry, re-entry. You just
No, you just go in. When
walk
you
in
want.
there and have your State of Atlanta little tumbler, and you're good to go. They're gonna be checking every State of Atlanta tumbler now that I said that.
I know. Be on the
My
lookout
bad.
for these.
Tim's upset. He was ready to go.
It's a good time. All right, Tim, you want to give us an update on how the the State of Atlanta March Madness bracket challenge is going?
Am I winning
can,
yet?
You're
I
not
can
winning.
check out of
Ryan.
this.
Thankfully, you're not winning.
But holy shit! Don't call it a comeback.
You surged ahead and you're in second place with 71 whole points. Now, you only have 16 points remaining, but it all comes down
It's
to
really, if UConn loses, I win.
if UConn loses, Ryan wins.
Boo.
The fate
No,
of
whatever.
our
No,
fate
here's
of
the
our
deal.
world
I
is
did the exact
banking
same
on
bracket
this.
at work too, and it's the same. I'm number 4 because there's more
But
people
you
right
can win.
now. But I will win if UConn loses.
Not happening.
You and
It's
I were
just
supposed to be.
nuts because I had Kentucky winning it all, y'all.
Yeah.
They
You
went
and
out
I
so
were supposed to be
early.
last place, Ryan. We were supposed to be last
David,
place.
you were
bros.
holding down last place.
No.
All on your
We
own.
weren't
Solidly.
supposed to do that.
Solidly. We know when it comes to the State of Atlanta bracket, no one's going to win it or lose it besides State of Atlanta hosts. You guys will take the top spot, and I'll just make sure no one's last place.
Anyone that is within 15 points of David owes him a beer at the end.
It
So-
would be funny. It'd be funny if we actually did one of those kind of pools where they pay the last place person's entry fee. So if it's like a $20 buy-in,
yeah.
then like first place gets money, second place gets money, and last place gets their money back. If we
And
had
it's
done
all
that for this, if we do this challenge, and it's like Ryan and Tim first and second place, and then me and last, and like we just kept all the money. No one would believe that's not staged.
No one.
Well, how would you stage it?
I don't know. We know that much about March Madness.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way. Nobody does that. Does
No one
anybody
knows
even
that.
have a perfect bracket this year? Like in
No.
existence?
No, that was busted like after the second day, I think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
real messed up.
It was a little bit later than that, was it? There was somebody that had that Oakland win, and
Oh, I
Went
had
for a
somebody
minute.
in one of my groups that had Oakland winning.
yeah,
So if the
We
North
have-
Carolina UConn game is not played for some reason, that just blows up, John wins.
John wins. All right, I'm going for John.
72 points. John in first. Ryan with 71. Ethan in third. Ethan's been
I'll
sitting
get
at a
second place.
70. No, because if UConn wins, or you're talking about if somehow UConn and North Carolina doesn't get played, none of them get to the championship. That would never happen.
No,
Can't happen. If UConn wins, I think I end up being first, Taylor is second, and I think Danny ends up being third. I think the other side of the bracket doesn't matter at all whatsoever. Like means absolutely nothing. Just like the E SEC.
the SEC. Yeah, it matters less, or it means less.
Yeah, because I
It means less.
think who's the beneath Danny?
That's for Danny to answer, and probably Mrs. Danny.
Who's beneath Danny right now? It is Todd. So Todd is tied with Danny, and he has UConn winning one more game. But I don't think that matters. So 3 of us have him win the championship. Todd does not. And then Ryan, you're all by yourself.
I was all
Life
by
story.
myself.
No one was looking.
No one was looking. I
Filling
was
out my
thinking
bracket.
of you.
So do you get anything at work, Ryan, for winning this thing or no?
They just said gift cards. I
Sweet.
think it's gonna be like $50.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's
Well,
hope
speaking of Todd,
they lose.
We did a women's bracket too, but I am definitely not winning that one.
does like everybody have Iowa in there?
would
and
have-
the
yeah,
I
rest-
don't know. I just picked
the,
my favorite colors.
the other side of the bracket.
So you've proved that theory doesn't work too well.
You
All the
exact,
time,
like,
no.
You went the stereotypical opposite on this whole thing, whereas when women do these kind of challenges, they pick the colors or the names they like or how cute the guys are. You went with the favorite colors.
I mean, I did the same thing I did for the men's, which I don't know anything about either. So I haven't watched any. Do you know I haven't watched a single March Madness game?
I've watched more this year than I've watched ever before.
This year.
Not one.
Yeah.
I don't care about basketball unless it's us.
Yeah, that's true. What it really comes down to is we need the rest of the State Atlanta crew, our patrons, to step it up. I mean, if I'm
get
gonna
better,
win it and Ryan's gonna win
about
it,
shit, and I'm winning. Like that's dumb.
Look,
that's stupid.
You all are letting David take last place and run away with it. So,
well, I thought we were doing golf. This is opposite day, right?
Yeah,
I need to do the math. I wanted to do the math and see if I picked opposite games for everything, how my points would have turned out.
Ooh, you should do that. You should check that out.
All right. We're 46 minutes in. One last thing I want to talk about before we go over to last call and probably continue this conversation a lot more is the Braves had a watch party in Summerhill that Georgia State was part of somehow, some way.
Interesting.
Ryan and I made it. Tim was unable to get there because it was like right after work, and Tim is not downtown. Nope. And but it was fun. It was great turnout. I thought that Woods Chapel area
and I think we
overtaken
missed part of it because we just did the block party part, but like I was walking around the neighborhood a little bit, and they painted little like directions on the sidewalk around, and there was like signs that said block party to where we went, but then there were signs that said Los Bravos in the other direction, and I don't know if they were doing like a thing at the Mexican restaurant or
which one did you go to?
We were at the barbecue place, the pizza place,
like
in between, and that was like the block party. But they had a really cool TV setup like outside, and like it was packed full on that patio, and people were getting pizza and barbecue and drinking beers, and it was nice.
So it
was cool.
The big question is, do you think this happens if Del McGee's not there? Do you think that because this was partnered with 680 The Fan, or really it seemed like a 680 The Fan thing they were doing themselves? I feel like Del McGee had something to do with making this happen. Like talking to these
Georgia State part of it, or just the Braves part of it?
Getting it at Summerhill.
No, the Braves were doing this.
I was really sad. I don't think Del McGee had anything to do with it. No. I was really sad about our participation in it because it felt co-branded going into it. Pounce walked around for a little while, and that's the only Georgia State presence I saw.
And then you saw the cheerleaders were there with them.
The yeah,
I didn't see that. You saw cheerleaders?
Yeah.
I literally only saw him.
Man, how lit were you guys?
Ryan, we walked in there. We walked past like 6 cheerleaders when we walked in.
They were all wearing Braves stuff. Those were Braves people.
Oh yeah, those were Braves people.
When I said they got cute butts,
you guys were Braves lit.
Not yet. Well, I'd only had like one or two of Ryan Beer at that point.
They weren't Georgia State folks.
So wait, what you're saying is the Braves just dropped a blueprint for us on how to do some kind of
awesome
watch party for Georgia State. Maybe not when we're at home, but away.
Yeah, I don't know
early
how much
in the season when it's still warm. Yeah.
I don't know how when we have like 18 away games to begin, or sorry, 18 home games to begin the season. It's fantastic. Yeah, no, I don't know how much it costs to rent one of those trailer, big, huge screens they had.
Yeah,
but that was fantastic. It was a great setup. It was an awesome setup. A whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it would have been a whole lot of fun on Friday. I was deathly sick with a sore throat full of 1,000 knives. So not happening.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Glad you're feeling better. Cheers.
I am, thankfully. Took all weekend though.
Ugh.
Missed the Easter egg hunts and everything.
Man, you didn't have kids and you had to be, but you still had to be home on the weekend? That sucks. All right, let's go over to the last call and talk a little bit more about everything. Tim, you want to do it again?
Sure, I can try it again. Thanks for listening.
All right.
Please consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com, State of Atlanta. We get early access to our live streaming, an invitation to join our private group chat, which is always festive, discounts on merch at stateofatlanta.com or merch.stateofatlanta.com, and free booze at events. Just a few dollars per month, 10 now. $10 per month. We'll start there. Only
$20 per month.
So join up now. Thanks for listening. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.
Nice.